This is the main thing keeping people single who desire to be married. We're going to talk about it, but before we do...
And we're Terrence and Jill of God-ordained union. We've been together 3.5 years, and we are here simply to help increase a God-ordained union.
Yes. We've been married 3.5 years, but just for those who are new to our channel, we're going to give you a brief overview of our story. I came across Terrence in 2018 on a dating platform. Terrence's profile was outdated. It was
5 years.
5 years outdated. That's how we know God can do anything, which led to me finding him on Facebook. We had a brief conversation through our DMs, and it stopped there. And 11 months later, Terrence came back into my DM. We talked over the phone and through text for almost a year because we were long distance. And then Terrence came to see me. From the day he came to see me, exactly 6 months later, Terrence proposed marriage. About a month after we were engaged, we started this channel because a lot of people who were congratulating us on our engagement, but were saying that they were, wondering where their person was. So we started this channel. 16 months after we got engaged, we got married. And so it's been 3.5 years since we've been married. And all between that time, from 2018 to even now, it's been a whole bunch of lessons, practices, principles, prophecies. And so on this channel, we're here to encourage you. We're sharing the things that we've learned, the things that we've gone through. We're also here to remind you that the enemy does not want you to be married. So if you desire to be married, this is the channel you definitely want to tune into. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notifications. Make sure you share, comment. You can even reach out to us to learn more about when we go live. Also to learn when we do pre-recorded videos like this one, because we're live chatting now. To learn about our private group, because we have a private group that comprise a lot of the subscribers here. But we go into a private group where we, see each other and talk to each other face to face on Zoom. To learn more about that, our intercessory prayer on Friday nights, all that great stuff. It's in the description. So our website is down there as well. And so, yeah. All right. So husband.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the main thing that's keeping people single who really desire to be married? Like, what's the main thing?
The main thing, really, to be honest, in a word, is their mindset. It's their mindset. And it's something that we don't ever think about first, because everybody feels like what they doing and who they hang out with, their family, all these things that affect their mindset. We just feel like it is what it is. And we don't think there's anything wrong because these are the things that we have experienced throughout our whole life. But once you get to a point where you're actually saying, I want something specific,
and you don't know why you're getting it.
You don't know why you're not getting it, then you have to do some type of reflection. You have to do some type of introspection. You have to do some type
intervention.
Yeah, you have to look inside. And here's the thing. We've been taught to look everywhere but inside. Yeah. We've been taught to look at our friends, our family, the schools,
the other person is wrong.
Yeah, all of this. We've been taught to look at everything else and analyze the crap out of it about why it's wrong. But we never think about looking into ourselves and figure out where we have contributed to the reasons why we haven't been getting what we want.
Yes.
So, yeah, mindset is it.
Yeah. So what happens is that what's programmed in your mind ends up becoming your dominant thoughts, which ends up becoming your language, what you're speaking, which ends up becoming what you do. how you act, your behavior, who you draw to you, who you rather be around. And it continues to be a cycle. And so if you're wondering, well, what's wrong with me? What is going on with me? It's probably how you think, it starts with your mindset of how you're thinking about marriage and about your person. And you're probably thinking it from a perspective of what you do not want. And so anytime you say what you do not want, it literally records it in your thoughts, which goes into your subconscious, which then goes into your heart, which you begin to, you keep saying, this is what I don't want. This is what I don't want, which that's what you're going to attract, what you don't want.
And we need to put a pin in that too, because I think most people don't realize how bad it is when it comes to us saying more of what we don't want rather than what we do want. Whether it's from the type of job,
right,
how much money we want to make, the type of lifestyles. The first thing most people do is say, well, I don't know what I want, but I know what I don't want. And they go into this long spiel about what they don't want, and what they don't realize is they spoke it. And the word says
that the word does not become void, does not return void.
It does not return void. It accomplishes everything it was sent out to do.
Yes.
Which means even if you're saying things that you don't want, you're speaking it.
So if you say, I don't want a wife, I don't want a woman who's going to have a lot of drama, that is a negative declaration. And you're going to probably draw women who got drama. And so that
your version of drama.
Yes. And so you're recording this and you're thinking it, women are drama, women are drama, women are drama. It's in your heart. You probably got some bitterness because you drew a woman in the past who had drama. So it's probably in your heart that you're bitter about it. And then that's how you're talking about it,
right? And
then that's your steps are being ordered to women who got drama, and so it is a powerful thing, and there's a word behind that. There's a scripture behind that.
There's a couple.
Yeah. What's so the man thinketh in his heart?
One is how man thinketh in his heart, so is he. One is Philippians 4:8, and it talks about your thoughts becoming things.
You think on these things.
Yeah, so you need to think on these, and then, another one says what you speak, you live by the words that come out of your mouth. One is that God says, I give you the power, the choice between life and death, choose life.
Yeah, so, the power's in your tongue. Yep, the power of life and death is in your tongue.
There's so many scriptures that speaking to what we speak out of our mouths and how we have control over the lifestyle that we're living based upon what we're speaking.
Right.
And so many folks are speaking death, or they're speaking something negative,
contrary,
not understanding that it's giving them their reality right now.
Right.
And they can change that reality just by changing what they say.
Yes. Y'all know how my brain goes. I just forgot I was going to say, but I do want to share this. So, because a lot of people, a lot of you all may not, you're saying that you may not have an example of, healthy marriages, and you didn't see that, because that also plays into your mindset if you did not see example of a healthy marriage. But let me tell y'all something, and I've never said this. So when I was little, I had a couple of favorite TV shows, but one of my favorite TV show was Good Times. And so I remember I was between 8 or 9 years old when Thelma and Keith got married. And of course, y'all know if y'all in the 50s, y'all remember this. They got married, and before there was the Dwayne Wayne and Whitley wedding and all of the other sitcom beautiful weddings, there was Thelma and Keith. Their wedding was probably the first Black wedding on TV. And when I say it was absolutely beautiful, so beautiful, and that the song is to this day is a staple wedding song, You and I. So I watched that wedding when I was like 8 or 9. And I kid you not, that planted something in me that made me believe in love. Here we go. Here we are in a hood in the projects, and she meets this
her knight in
shining armor, who is, as you all know, y'all who don't know, who is a professional football player who played for the Chicago Bears. She meets him. She was coming home from school, met him, his limo pulled up, and she met her knight in shining armor. That, and even though it was fairy tale, even though it was fictitious, I should say, even though it was fictitious, that planted something in me that anything is possible. Like love is possible. Like love really can exist. Even I was so engrossed in that episode. And even years later, when I see it on social media, I always stop because it planted something in me that made me believe in love. It just made me believe in love. Now, that was a seed that was planted. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, I've seen healthy relationships. My grandparents, my parents, my aunts. One of the things I know for sure, I don't care how crazy the women are in our family, them men love us. Them men love some us. So I've seen that. Then I've seen other family members, cousins and neighbors. It always was, it seems like I was always around, I'm not saying perfect marriages, but I was always around marriages. And so that reinforced. Then on top of that, I have, and even to this day, I love a good love song. And I think that that's what we have in common. We love a good love song. To this day, we both love a good love story, a movie. So could it be that it was so planted in me that it had no choice but to be in my talk and be, in my heart and in my conversation and, in the way I moved? And probably, it probably was.
And people don't understand the power of what you just said when it comes to a TV show. Because one of the things that have affected us over the years is social media. You got people that sit around and look at YouTube and TikTok all day when they're not working. And they don't realize how much that's influencing what they actually believe is possible for them. And so many people are comparing their reality right now to what they see on social media, what they see on TikTok and YouTube. And the thing is, they don't have anybody in their ear saying, well, that's their story. That don't have to be your story, whether it's good or bad or how you're perceiving it. And right now, there are a lot of people, a whole lot of people that are coming on social media now, and they're saying up front, I don't like this because I've only heard negative things about it on social media. And now they feel that they don't have a choice. Their reality of that particular thing, in this case, we're talking about marriage, that their reality is that they're not going to find a good person because there aren't any. Or a good situation because it hasn't shown them on social media that there are marriages that are in a positive environment, that are in a positive standing
Posture.
in their posture in their community, that are flourishing, and it's just sad.
So it goes back to the trick of the enemy, because back in our days we did see more healthy examples. Even when the couple, look at the movie Claudine, even if the couples were in struggle mode, I mean, even in good times, James and Florida loved the heck out of each other, even though they were in poverty. They, George and Wheezy. Like, and even though these were fictitious, it still was an example of love. These days on social media, we're getting now the reality, and it's so bad that even if a couple gets on, for instance, us, if we get on, say, TT or Facebook, and we say, we talk about our story, we're getting more people that doubt us. Oh, they ain't really in love. They ain't really love each other. Then, because it's so much more negativity about relationships and marriage. It's much more, which is the trick of the enemy. So we say this to say, you have to not only reprogram your thoughts, which is repenting, because that's the thing. And the word says when we repent, one of the things that the word says is to renew your mind. Somehow, us church folk, we skipped over that part, or we weren't taught that part. Renewing your mind is powerful, because you could be, have a ticket to heaven, but you'll be here on earth going crazy because you have not renewed your mind. Mm-hmm. You got to renew your mind. And so you have to renew your mind, but you got to now start reprogramming your thoughts, renewing your mindset. And Terrence, you were just talking about that. You were saying the people you hang around.
It goes from what you're listening to. It goes from what you're watching. It goes to what you're reading. It goes to what you're coming in agreement with when you're making comments on other people's posts, whether it's good or bad. It goes to
who you hang around,
where you're hanging at. It goes to even your family members. Mm-hmm. Whom of them are speaking life into your situation, or which ones of them are speaking negative in your situation. And look, it gets hard when you come down to the reality of saying, oh, now I got to monitor how much time I spend with cousin such and such, or auntie or uncle, because of what they're speaking or what they're doing as an example to you. You have to start now saying, and we're not saying, look, you can't hang out with Ray Ray.
Right.
What we're saying, though, is if you are saying to yourself, you want to be married, and you've prayed, and you've been in God's waiting room. We call it the elevation room. You've been in his elevation room for X amount of time, and you've gotten to the point where you feel, why is it hadn't happened yet? Then you might want to reflect on where you are, what you're feeding your mind, what you're allowing your mind to get, and who you're hanging out with, what they're doing, what type of things you're doing with them, where you're doing these things at. If you're hanging out and doing things that is opposite of what you say you want, that could be a problem regarding why you haven't received what you want. And you have to make a decision or some type of modification if you're going to stand on the idea of being or getting what it is that you say you want that you haven't gotten yet.
It's funny because I had all single girlfriends, and the one that was married, she operated like she was single because she operated like she was unhappily married. But let me tell you something. I used to say stuff like this. When we would hang out, I would say stuff like this. When the one come, deuces to y'all. I would declare out of my mouth, like, this is temporary. Like, and I would joke about it. They would laugh at me because at the end of the day, they didn't believe I was going to get a man. Let's just be clear. But I knew I had to separate I was not, I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted. And even though for a long time, it was hard for me to say I want to be married, for that to come out, I operated like I wanted to be married. I operated like I wanted to be married. But I say that to say is that I had all single girlfriends, and I didn't want to go everywhere with them because they was cool in their situation, whether they got married or not, whether they was halfway in their marriage or not, they was cool. But I wanted something else because I was a dreamer. I believe in infinite possibilities. To me, they were limited. They were comfortable where they were. I wasn't. And so I always, and even how I would pursue career and business, and I just always felt like I was not better, but different. Like I wanted different. And so, but I could have bought into just that group. And so how I started how I always operated, I have a group of girlfriends here, a group of girlfriends here, a group of girlfriends here. So I had girlfriends that were personal, that, that basically the ride or dies, like if something go down, I'm calling them. But then I had my group of girlfriends, and that's still to this day, my group of girlfriends who are entrepreneurs, who they are about making money. Then I had my group of girlfriends, that I know that I can call them and we're gonna pray and fast together. Like those are the ones. And so, and then of course I had my sisters. My sisters is in a class all by themselves. My sister cousins, they're in a class all by themselves. And so, I never got stuck in all of them got their pros and cons, but I never got stuck in either one because I knew what I wanted. And so it goes back to a lot of, which is mindset. A lot of people don't know what they want. And because of that, they get caught up in what they don't want, and they get caught up in other people's wants.
So I remember being in a company, and we used to go out and do these quarterly events. And of course, at the time, I'm single, hanging out with the single guys. And there were a couple guys that was in our group or from our area that were married. And they used to always say, well, look, I'm hanging out with y'all. We would just tell them up front, no, you ain't hanging out with us. Well, why not? Y'all, what y'all trying to say? Dude, you're married. We're single. What you ain't going to do is do what we might do. And then we're going to be in your wife's face the next time we see her as if you didn't do nothing. No, that ain't, if you're going to do bad, you're going to do bad because you chose to do bad. But you ain't going to do bad because we influenced you to do bad. So you can't hang out with us.
Right.
You were married. Go back to the room or go do whatever you're going to do on your own. But you ain't doing it with us because we're not going to look your wife in her face and act like we don't know that you're doing something because you did it in our presence. No, you going back to your room. Go back to your room. And we made that stance because at the end of the day, if we were married, we wouldn't be hanging out with the single guys.
Right.
And we understood that. So we made sure. Now, he didn't like it, but it is what it is.
Right. Which goes back to mindset. Which goes back to beliefs,
what you feed yourself,
what you feed yourself, and what you do. So he had a change of mind probably when he got married. He was still operating, doing single things and desiring single things. And so, but mindset is huge.
Mindset is huge.
It's huge. It's a game changer. Like what you think about all boils down to what you're going to do right now in this hour as you're watching this video. Everything that's culminated through your beliefs and your thoughts is everything that's getting ready to happen, as far as what you do right now or what you do tomorrow.
And look, it's not about you making a big scene doing something. It's about the little stuff. Like when someone says something negative about a situation and you go, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just that little, mm-hmm. You just became in agreement to whatever that belief is about that thing.
Yeah, there's no more good men out there.
So you have to be so careful of these little gestures and these little nuances that you're doing to say, I agree or disagree with what someone's saying, and you're coming in agreement. And that agreement is opposite of what you say you're praying to God for.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
You gotta be careful because what your mind is driving is literally driving you crazy. You're in a cycle, a continuous cycle. And until you change your mind, it'll continue to be in a cycle.
You don't hear me say the word hate much, but I'm gonna tell you what I hate. I hate when people exercise their free will that God gave them and they leave God out of a decision. And then when they don't get what they want, they blame God for it. But you never included him in the decision you made for that, or how you're going to act, or how you're going to go about getting it. He wasn't even a part of that decision. And then you're going to say, well, I didn't get it because God didn't say I could, or God don't want me to have it. You didn't even include God in that process before you asked for it. So know what you're doing, because what you think, what you speak, and what you're doing is actually
leading you to or not leading you to
what you actually say in your heart that you want.
So
yeah.
Woo.
So check your mindset.
Check your mindset.
Check what you're allowing to influence your mind. And make some changes accordingly.
And let me tell you something. One of the best things you can do is do some meditation. That will change your mind. The word talks about meditating on the word day and night. Meditation. You could Google that, how to do more meditation, because you have to literally, for a lot of people, a lot of you all, it is so deeply embedded. It's in your subconscious, and you're moving and having your being just from what's in your subconscious. And so
the word talks about not being conformed by this world, but being transformed by the word,
by the renewing of your mind.
Yes,
by the renewing of your mind. And a lot of us need social media detox. We need toxic relationship detox, because that has shaped what you thought about marriage, men, women, your situation, and that's what's blocking you.
Oh, let me share this with you, because this is really huge.
Okay.
She talked about it earlier. Think about all the songs you sing and the lyrics in those songs, but you never thought about what the lyrics are saying.
Yes.
But you're singing them, and they're singing, and the words are talking about something negative versus what it is you say you believe in. We have to really watch not only the songs that we're listening to, but we need to check and make sure them lyrics. That beat might be off the chain, but the lyrics might be saying something that's totally opposite of what it is you say you're praying for.
Yeah,
and you're singing those songs all the time.
Yeah, like the song "I'm Every Woman" by Shaka Khan. That literally says you a witch. You about to cast a spell.
So you
like
it'd
be like, what did I just sing? What in the world did I just sing?
And people do it all the time.
We do it all the time. I mean, wait a minute. And that's even some gospel songs. It was like, wait, there's a lot of Kirk Franklin songs I can't sing. I'm like, wait a minute, what did they just say?
There's a lot of old folk songs and hymns that we grew up on that you now need to check the words and say that don't even belief. That's not even in the Bible.
Yes, like that's contrary to the word of God. You got to be
very careful of what it is we're singing and humming to, not realizing we're coming in agreement with something negative or something against the word.
Yeah, and if you really think about it, like you saw the difference between, there was a time, before the 90s, men used to beg in songs for their woman. They did something wrong, they begging. They are begging for her mercy. Now it's like I'm with you and your girlfriend and your best friend, and I'm going after your sister too. Like those are the lyrics now. Like there's really no more, good love songs out there. Like it's really kind of no more. Like, so you gotta be very, very careful, even what because all of that is feeding into your subconscious. All of that is feeding
Once
into
you
your
give
subconscious.
it starts to control your habits. And before you know it, you're doing some things and you don't even realize you're doing it.
Yep. And you being all blocked up, wondering why it can't come to you is because you were like,
with your friends saying, I don't know why I ain't got it yet. I've been waiting for so long and it ain't came.
It's like red tape. You just wrapped up in red tape.
Yeah.
Wrapped up in red tape. So,
but it's all in your mindset.
Yes, all in your mindset.
So if you want to receive the things that you are praying for and that you're telling people you're praying for, check your mindset. Check what you're saying, what you're thinking, what you're doing, and see if it's aligning with what the word says about those things.
Yes.
And I promise you, you'll see a difference.
You'll see a difference. You'll be like, oh my God, I just took off a whole weight load off my mind.
Off. Yep.
So, all right.
Yep. So with that being said, we pray that this directs you back to scripture regarding what it is you're actually praying for and help you find a solution to why you haven't received what it is you're looking for.
Amen. All right.
Deuces.